So, Your Excellency the President, when you were sworn into office on 13th September 2022, the economy of Kenya was in bad shape because of a number of factors, mainly the disruption of the supply chains because of the war in Ukraine and Russia, the COVID-19 pandemic that has shut down our economy for more than a year, and other shocks, including the drought that had ravaged our country. Because of these economic shocks, our economy was in bad shape. Kenya was one of the 6 countries in Africa that had been predicted to default in their sovereign debt, the others being Ethiopia, Chad, Ghana, Gambia, and Zambia. Out of the 6 countries, including Kenya, that had been predicted to default in their sovereign debt obligations, only Kenya survived. All the other 5 countries defaulted. Why? Because immediately you were sworn in office, you made very difficult, painful, and unpopular decisions that helped bring our economy back on track, including negotiating a G2G arrangement for the supply of crude oil, which was not available in 2022 September. People were queuing to buy petrol. And we saw the escalation of costs of petrol, which is a big contributor to inflation. It kept on increasing until it reached a high of 2018 shillings a litre. I can see the governor of Mombasa. Mombasa continues to lead. As of this morning, 932,000 residents of Mombasa out of 1,190,000, 78% are enrolled under Taifa Care. I see the other governors are trying to incite me to also mention, I will not name them, but the top 5 counties for purposes of record is Mombasa, followed by Bomet, followed by Elgeyo Marakwet, followed by Kirinyaga, and Tharaka Nithi closes the top 5. Your Excellency, it's only that we are in a formal meeting. I would have asked that question. Your Excellency, sir, what we need to fine-tune to improve our universal health care going forward are 3 things. 1, we need to improve on the health commodity supply chain. There are still a few gaps in the health commodity supply chain system. Number 2, we need to improve on the actuarials of the universal health coverage to make sure the premiums that are paid are able to provide quality packages for all kinds of treatments across the board. And thirdly, we need to fine-tune the issue of fraud. We must fight fraud. The biggest threat to any public medical insurance around the world, in all countries, the biggest threat is fraudulent claims. We must overcome that challenge, detect fraud, deal with it when it happens, and make sure that we secure UHC into the future. Your Excellency, in terms of equipment, we are under the National Equipment Support Program, which all counties again have signed to. We are placing specialized equipment to replace the now decommissioned MES program with the National Equipment Support Program. So we've made a lot of strides in the over the last 3 years, Your Excellency, through your leadership and with the support of the broad-based administration, we've been able to bring down a number of macroeconomic indicators that were affecting our economic environment. Number 1, prices of essential commodities that had skyrocketed and therefore influencing the cost of living negatively have been stabilized over time, including unga from 250. Today, unga from 138 shillings going forward. You'll get your unga depending on the type of unga that you're you want to consume. But from 138 shillings, you'll get your unga. Your Excellency, fuel which had gone as high as 217, 218 shillings a litre has been going down continuously. Over time, losing over 40 shillings. Today we are at 178 a litre. Your Excellency, inflation, which was at 9.6% at that time, is now stable for more than a year. It has been somewhere between 3.5 and 4.5%, which is within the central bank preferred midpoint. The Central Bank of Kenya preferred midpoint for inflation is 5%, plus or minus 2.5%. We are below that CBK benchmark. Last month it was 4.3%. Again, congratulations, Your Excellency, because inflation, low inflation, and keeping inflation stable and low is one of the macroeconomic foundations on which our economy is going to be built going forward. Your Excellency, the exchange rate, the shilling was losing value every day. Over the last almost 1.5 years and more, we've been able to keep a stable exchange rate at 129 shillings, down from 165, 162, 165 shillings in 2022. Your Excellency, congratulations. The Kenya shilling now has been rated as one of the most stable currencies in the world. The top 6 stable currencies in the world, the Kenya shilling is in that list. Your Excellency, over the last 3 years, again, due to difficult and popular but important decisions, we have now grown our cash reserve ratio. Our foreign exchange reserves have increased. In 2022, when you were being sworn in, people were booking dollars. Business people wanted to do export-import trade. They needed to pay for goods from overseas. They had to book dollars for dollars, and you could not get, if you ask for 10,000, they tell you we'll only get you 3,000 today. Next week we'll get you another 2,000, because we didn't have enough foreign exchange reserves. We have moved over the last 3 years, Your Excellency, under your leadership, from a low 5.7 billion US dollars, which is import cover for 2.5 months, to a historic high. I know the booklet says that we are at 12.3, but we have increased. The data from Central Bank on Thursday, we have hit a historic high, 14.6 billion US dollars, equivalent to 1.9 trillion Kenya shillings in foreign exchange reserve. Import cover of 6.2 towards 7 months of import cover. Kimani Ishungwa is an accountant. He's telling me it's not 6.2, it's 7 months import cover. Meaning even if the economy of Kenya was shut down for 7 months, we will still conduct our affairs without disrupting international trade, our export and import trade. This is historic. We've never been there before. Your Excellency, sir, on the economy, the other indicators are also looking good. I've talked about the strength of the currency. I've talked about low inflation. I've talked about the cash reserve ratio. I also want to talk about national savings. For 62 years, we had only saved 320 billion through NSSF. Okay? I know in the booklet, national savings comes as the last point, but I decided to bring it forward because it's part of the economic fundamentals that influence our macroeconomic stability. For 60 years, we only had savings through NSSF of 320 billion. In the last 3 years, in fact, 2 years, because we changed the law, again, courtesy of Parliament, we started implementing the law that Parliament passed 2 years ago. We have saved an additional 370 billion in 2 years. Today, savings stand at 690 billion Kenya shillings, projected to hit the 1 trillion shilling mark by the end of next year. Again, historic, because we have more than doubled our national savings in 2 years compared to what we had saved for 62 years. Your Excellency, all these macroeconomic indicators point to a better Kenya, a stronger economy. No wonder all the ratings of the Kenyan economy by international credit rating agencies have been positive on Kenya, from Standard & Poor's to Moody's. Kenya now has been upgraded to somewhere between B3, B-, a stable economy by sovereign credit rating companies which are global and therefore are not politically inclined. And therefore, this macroeconomic heavy lifting has taken us a bit of time, but we're in good place now. Going forward, the remaining part is easier because now we now move into the realm of microeconomics, that is putting money into the pockets of individual citizens, creating jobs and income opportunities, and also employment, jobs, household incomes, and that is where the other programs that we have rolled out are going to take us, as we are going to see. So that is how the economy has been stabilized over the last 3 years, and some of the interventions required parliamentary support of the two houses of parliament, and we applaud Parliament in its entirety for that support. Number 2, Your Excellency, is agriculture. We have undertaken a number of agricultural transformation steps in the last 3 years as the broad-based administration. Number 1, we started with the registration of farmers. Before then, we didn't have a database on farmers. And now we have a database of farmers. We know what they farm, the acreage of land, the kind of fertilizer they need, and where they are. And we are now having 7.3 million farmers whom we know what they need in terms of farm inputs. That was a major milestone of the achievement of this administration quite early, within the first year. Number 2, we've worked on the farm inputs to bring down prices of farm inputs, mainly fertilizer, from a high of 7,000 shillings per 50 kilogram bag of fertilizer to now the current 2,500 shillings per bag. We've also subsidized certified seeds to make them more affordable, and the result of these interventions have been to improve productivity in agriculture. Maize, for example, the staple crop, we have seen an increase in our maize production from 44 million bags in 2022 to 75 million bags last year, 2025. We have also seen the increase in terms of income and returns on coffee from an average of 60 to 70 shillings a kilo. Today, a kilo of cherry, the farmers are getting somewhere between 120 and 160 shillings, more than double of what the prices were in 2022. Earnings from tea over the last years have improved from 154 billion in 2022 to last year 215 billion Kenya shillings, the highest returns from tea in the history of our country. We've also increased our production of sugar, because for a long time Kenya has been importing sugar. Your Excellency, you recall more than 20 years ago when you were Minister for Agriculture, you still used to lead Kenya's delegation to Zambia to negotiate for COMESA safeguard measures so that we can get sugar imported into Kenya. In the last 3 years, Your Excellency, through your leadership, we've been able to reduce the imports of sugar by over 70%. The production has risen from 472,000 metric tons in 2022 to 815,000 metric tons in 2025. Through your leadership and with the help of both houses of parliament, we have been able to bring in a new law in the sector to eliminate cartels and to provide for partnering with private sector to lease government-owned sugar factories, Mumias, Nzoia, Chemelil, Sony. And today, we are now not just having an additional 200,000 acres under sugarcane production, but we are also having timely payment for farmers, of course at better prices, from 3,500 shillings per ton to the current 4,500 shillings per ton. Your Excellency, because of these reforms, the cartels in the sugar industry have been dealt with, and in the next 2-3 years, Kenya will not require to import a single grain of sugar from anywhere. In fact, Kenya will start exporting sugar to the other countries in the region. Your Excellency, for the first time, farmers are being paid every 7 days for their delivery of cane, and workers are being paid at the end of the month. And for the first time since sugarcane growing was introduced in Kenya, sugarcane farmers are earning bonus, as you yourself has presided over the issuance of bonus in Mumias, and I'm sure for the other sugar factories, the bonuses should be coming at the end of the year. So that is what we've done for sugarcane. And in terms of milk production, Your Excellency, we've been able to increase production from 4.6 billion liters in 2022 to 5.3 billion liters last year. Our exports of dairy products have also increased by 92% to last year's 9.4 billion shillings worth of exports of dairy products. Your Excellency, we have also in the livestock sector been able to start installing milk coolers to provide longevity for milk and avoid wasting milk, which has been going bad. But also we have vaccinated 7.9 animals. We have also been able to increase our meat exports, which were 12.9 billion shillings last year. And we are also almost completing the Kenya Leather Industrial Park in Kenanie, which will bring value addition into the livestock sector and make more income and returns for pastoralists and livestock keepers. Your Excellency, sir, I can also highlight a few things we've done in the blue economy because of the counties in the coast and counties around Lake Victoria that depend on blue economy. We are building fish landing sites from Waepe near Lungalunga all the way to Mokowe in Lamu, Kipini, Kichwa Chakati in between, and we are also giving grants to beach management units. We've already disbursed 3.2 billion shillings to beach management units to support fishermen. We are buying boats. The small boats are already in place. What is being procured now are the high sea or deep sea fishing boats, and we are collaborating with county government to fasten that procurement so that we can have boats that can go into the deep sea and bring better fish and more valuable fish. We are also, we've completed the Shimoni fish port, 2.6 billion shillings. We've completed a big mariculture center in Shimoni at 1.4 billion. We are building Kabonyo Aquaculture Center of Excellence around Lake Victoria, 1.3 billion. We have landing sites around Lake Victoria from Migori all the way to Mukoba in Busia and all the other places in between. We have finished the pier in Homa Bay, the fish markets in Homa Bay, the fish market in Kidongo in Mombasa. We have also done the lab, fish quality lab in Mombasa. It's almost complete, and the one in Kisumu is also 55% complete. We are also providing pond liners and cages for fish cage farming, and also providing predator nets to encourage inland fish farming. So, Your Excellency, I know that booklet has omitted that blue economy thing, so we'll improve and maybe, because that's an area also we've done very well. Number 3, Your Excellency, universal health. Universal health, Your Excellency, when you came to office, the first thing that this government did was to promote primary health care by employing community health promoters, 107,831 of them, who continue to be our foot soldiers to encourage people to live well, to try and detect complicated diseases before they become chronic, like diabetes, sugar-related diseases, pressure-related diseases, in partnership with county governments. I must also thank Your Excellency the same way I thank the members of the National Assembly and senators. I must thank the governors of the Republic of Kenya, because they have supported every program where we have partnered between the county governments and the national government. There has been zero resistance. There has been zero politics, because we are used to the past politics of fighting devolution, and any input from the national government to the county governments has been embraced by the county governors and the county governments wholesomely. I commend the county governors of Kenya for their patriotism. Your Excellency, under universal health care, as of this morning, we have registered 29.8 million Kenyans into Taifa Care, which is historic, because we are coming from 7 million shillings, 7 million Kenyans under NHIF. You can imagine, from 7 million to 29.8. I think in the next 2 weeks we will reach the 30 million mark